me, Banky, and we're here in Tokyo, Japan. For the next 13 days, you'll be traveling with me from all over Japan, from Tokyo to Kyoto to Osaka and Hiroshima. First of all, I'd like to thank AffordableTours.com for booking this trip for me. For all your travel needs, please visit AffordableTours.com for the lowest prices and also award-winning service. Also, I'd like to thank Trafalgar Tours, who we'll be traveling with for the next 13 days for the wonderful program. And I'm really looking forward to it. I hope you guys have fun.
Alright, so welcome to my trip report of the 13-day tour, Splendors of Japan with Trafalgar Tours, booked through AffordableTours.com. You'll be following me around for the next 13 days around Japan, starting in Tokyo and traveling south down to Hiroshima and then departing from Osaka. For the next 3 days, we're here in Tokyo as we explore this beautiful garden of the New Otani Hotel in Tokyo, which is of course provided in our package. This beautiful hotel is centrally located and really accessible to anywhere. It's about a 5-minute walk to the train station, so you can wander around on your free time. So let's begin. We start our first full day of touring in Asakusa, visiting the Sensoji Buddhist temple. After exploring a little bit and shopping a little bit, we are ready to hook up with our local specialist for our included lunch.
What's up, everybody? We're in Tokyo and we're about to make our own sushi.
Before busting out our sushi making skills, we got a little history lesson and also a demonstration from a chef of how he kind of cuts the fish and makes your sashimi slices.
Thickness of this size, leaving without rice. Other places covered with rice like he's showing. So you know how to okay, you watch this one as she did.
So being that I'm naturally gifted at everything, I went ahead of the class and got to work on this cucumber roll. As you can see from my expertly crafted technique, I should have been the one teaching the class. After perfecting my cucumber roll, we moved right into the nigiri sushi pieces, and there's definitely a fine art to this that I have not perfected, but luckily our local specialist was on hand to help us out, answer any questions, and point us in the right direction. But this was such a great experience that I would not have been able to do had I come to Tokyo on my own. You know, I don't think I would have thought to look up sushi making classes. When this whole thing was done, they gave us little certificates, you know, actual printouts of a certification of completion that we are, you know, quote unquote certified to make sushi. And the look of my face after we're done just proves that everything went well. Yes, our mighty steed for the trip. This 50 plus passenger capacity motor coach was comfortable as it was luxurious, especially with only about 25 of us in the group total. But the next day brought us to the Edo Tokyo Museum, which was really awesome because it's just like being transported back in time, and a lot of set pieces from Edo period. And I'm really interested in not just Japanese culture, but Japanese architecture. And there were just a lot of displays and a lot of information there that was really interesting and really educational, and I really enjoyed it. Next stop was to Akihabara, which is famous for its electronic shops. Not just electronics, but there's a ton of anime and video game stuff. There's a lot of shops selling computer stuff. It was a really fun, quirky area where we had lunch on our own. Afterwards, we participated, well, not we, my wife did, participated in an optional excursion to wear kimono and not just wear it, but they allow you to walk around Asakusa. And, we took some pictures. And actually, we stumbled upon a festival going on at the same Sensoji temple that we were at the other day. And so we had our kimonos and walked around and ate a ton of street food, which was a perfect day all around. So the next morning, we say goodbye to Tokyo and start heading to Mount Fuji, which was a really incredible drive because all the way there, Mount Fuji is just towering over your view. And I mean, it's just the excitement can't come soon enough to actually see this thing a little closer.
Morning, everyone. We're here at the Mount Fuji Visitor Center. This is the Mount Fuji and Five Lakes Observatory. Right behind me is the Visitor Center. And on the second story observatory deck, you'll have a great view of Mount Fuji. I just came back from down there, took a ton of pictures. There's a nice little 12-minute video, informational video, and also a cafe for you. So please enjoy.
After Mount Fuji and the Five Lakes district, we headed over to Matsumoto Castle, which is one of Japan's oldest and most complete castles still around from the Shogun era. Tonight we stay in Nagano and continue our journey the next morning towards Kanazawa.
Hey everyone, so we've left Nagano this morning and we're now on our way towards Kanzanawa. Nagano was a nice little stop. It was the host city of the Winter Olympics sometime in the 80s, probably before I was even born. But we didn't get to see too much of it. It was really just for a hotel stay. But yesterday was fun because we got a very clear view of Mount Fuji, which was amazing. The views of Mount Fuji and just driving through the Alps, which we are continuing our drive today, was really an amazing experience. Right now we're stopped for about a 15-minute break, and these rest stops, anywhere you stop, it's just a magical place because it's just so beautiful. I mean, 15 minutes is not enough here, but luckily we get this view the whole time on the bus ride. We're actually stopping first at the city called Tatsumaki, something like that. And we're gonna have one of Trafalgar's cultural insights and actually have a sake tasting. Today we have lunch included, which is a local pita beef, which I'm really looking forward to that.
On our way to Takayama, we were able to drive through the Japanese Alps, which, as you can see, are still full of snow. And I gotta say, this is probably one of my favorite moments the whole trip, because it's just something that you wouldn't have done or wouldn't have been able to see if you came on your own, because you'd probably just be traveling by train everywhere. But this was really a magical, really special experience for me personally. It was just really beautiful.
Hey everyone, we're here in Takayama, where houses that are 200-300 years old have been perfectly preserved. And driving into the city and walking around has been like going back in time almost. Now, despite the beautiful architecture from Edo period Japan, I have spent most of my time eating. That's no surprise to anybody. But along the streets, there are just these amazing Hida beef stalls and buns and mochis and I mean just anything. A foodie's paradise really. But let's take some time and explore the city.
So we had lunch included today in Takayama with this amazingly delicious hira beef, which is kind of like almost like a sukiyaki that you grilled on your own here at your table. It's delicious.
Hey guys, so as part of one of Trafalgar's cultural insights, one of many for this trip, we're about to spend some time with the owners of this 300-year-old house, which there are only 200 left here, and they're gonna show us old traditional. They're gonna perform an old traditional Japanese dance with some old, instruments and stuff, and it gives you a really great perspective and insight into the history and culture of Japan, before modern Japan as we know it. How about we go check it out?
After the presentation, it was, of course, tea time, which was served right here, brewed and served right here in the middle of the house. And we also had an opportunity to kind of explore the house a little bit and visit the third and fourth floors, where they, harvested silkworm here, actually. And it was really, really cool to see the design and just the engineering of this style house.
So this morning we start in the village of Gokayama, which is another part of Trafalgar's very special included cultural insights. They sprinkle in these little cultural insights throughout the program to get you a better feel of how the locals live, and really more about not just what you see on trip, but also your experiences and just learning about local cultures and regional cultures and just how they do things here. So as another part of Trafalgar's cultural insights, we're here at Gokayama. It's a small village of about 200 houses that are built in the historical gashole style. Now these houses are built without using any metals at all. And they cut the lumber from the mountains, which you see here. And we're surrounded by these mountains, the beautiful Japanese Alps. And the wood is cut down, chopped up, and held together with nothing but brush, grass, and rope. The roofs have to be replaced every so often. It takes about 200 men and women volunteers, and it takes about 2 to 3 days to do it. I believe they said it was 2 days to build the roof and a day to put it on. So it's quite incredible. This is a beautiful scene that we're in basically in the Japanese Alps, surrounded by the Alps, and I hope you enjoy the little tour.
After visiting Ainokura, we hooked up with a local artisan and tried our hand at making some washi paper, which is another Trafalgar cultural insight. And we were able to make some washi paper postcards that we took home as souvenirs. Of course, no visit to Asia is ever complete without visiting a fish market. And I've visited fish markets in Thailand and China, and I gotta say, I've never seen a fish market this clean. I was shocked. It wasn't smelly, it wasn't dirty, people weren't screaming, nothing like that. But this Omicho market was really cool. We had lunch on our own here, and afterwards we headed over to the Nagamachi district, where it has its beautifully preserved samurai houses. And we visited the Nomura house, which is really an elegant samurai mansion with a really, really beautiful garden that belonged to a high-ranking samurai family. They also turned this house into a museum, so we were able to, see some artifacts and some letters written from the shogun to this family that, you know, they helped during the war and stuff like that. And it was really interesting, really cool stuff, especially that full suit of armor in the beginning. So this morning we leave Kanazawa and arrive in Kyoto to have a Trafalgar exclusive Be My Guest lunch at a traditional ryokan. This ryokan was built in 1932 to serve as the second residence for the uncle of the current Japanese emperor, Akihito. After Be My Guest lunch, we visited the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Kinkakuji Temple, which is famous for its golden pavilion. So Fushimi Inari Shrine was a huge highlight of mine for Japan. I was really excited to come here, and I'm so happy I finally did. It was a beautiful day. And you know, I'm actually a photographer, so I was really excited to be here to take my own pictures of those iconic torii gates. And what a wonderful day this was. Later that night, we had a dinner included at this really funny, really quirky ninja-themed restaurant. It was, you know, in a dark area. The waiters were served dressed as ninjas. And they performed ninja tricks or, you know, just a magic show and everything. It was really nice, really quirky, and a really great experience. So we continue our journey on day 9 and leave Kyoto, and we drive over the Akashi Kaikyo Bridge over to Awaji Island. This bridge is the world's longest suspension bridge, and it's pretty magnificent. After crossing the bridge, we stopped at a rest stop where we had magnificent views. From here, we went over and saw the 100-stepped garden, which is a group of 100 flower beds and small square gardens on an incline, and basically it's on a hill. And then from there, we went to go see a water temple that was designed by the Japanese architect Ando Tadao. That night we stayed in Kotohira, and right next to our authentic accommodation, again another Trafalgar exclusive, providing authentic accommodations, was an authentic Japanese ryokan. Attached to this ryokan was a shrine, the Kotohira-gu Shrine, which is dedicated to the god of marine and boats. And to get to the shrine, you had to climb, well, the first shrine was about 785 steps, and the inner shrine is another additional 1,000 steps. Needless to say, I only made it to the first shrine and turned around after that. But, you know, it was really rewarding because of all the sights and sounds while traveling up and down. You know, we got an avenue of cherry blossoms, and it was just a great night all around. We continue our journey to Omishima Island, but first stop at Zensuji Temple, which is the birthplace of one of the most revered figures of Japanese Buddhism, the High Priest Kobo Daishi. first day of touring in Hiroshima brings us to Miyajima Island to visit Itsukushima Shrine, home of the floating Torii Gate. We first have to take a little ferry over to the island, and we are then greeted by a bunch of free roaming deer, which are really friendly. After Miyajima Island, we headed over to Peace Memorial Park and Museum, where we paid our respects and did a lot of reflecting on leading up to the events of the devastating atomic bomb over Hiroshima. Alright, and this is it. We take the bullet train out of Hiroshima to Osaka, where we have an included city drive and also a walk down Dontobori. In the evening, we'll have a farewell dinner, and everyone will say goodbye. And some of us will be on our way the next morning. Some of us extend our stay. Some of us will head somewhere else. But I hope you enjoyed this abbreviated vacation with me. For the past 13 days, you just experienced the Splendors of Japan, a tour with Trafalgar Tours. Again, if you're interested in traveling, please book your vacation through affordabletours.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment with any questions you might have. Thanks, guys.